Hello Eternum and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news, and this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night as the tranquility of the season brings a night of peace to the island. KOTT news crews took the opportunity to investigate the mysterious disappearance of Imhotep. After manipulating a complex mirror system across a vast ancient ruin, KOTT were eventually able to discover a crypt, which led to even more questions. Investigating further, we came across our old arch-nemesis and started climbing to get away. And then, after an exhaustive session of Super Mario, was able to track down Imhotep, who was not himself. After knocking some sense into my fevered and delusional friend, I was able to administer his medicine and help him regain some sense of self. KOTT News will bring you more on this story as it develops. Turning to the weather, and it's going to be another beautiful day of sunlight spreading across the land all day long. But after sundown, be on the lookout for a 20% chance of invasion to arise across the island. 5 lineup submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight. Brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. Up first, the Covenant forces of Washed Degenerates assault the Marauders of Thrust Damage for control of the primary oil reserves of Weaver's Fen. Washed Degenerate forces immediately exercising their right to rematch, signaling their intentions to take back what Thrust Damage won away earlier this week. Thrust Damage running a tight schedule tonight, fighting in back-to-back wars on the same night, or will they split their attention to focus on the later bout? Then, the Covenant forces of Tropical House assail the Syndicate forces of Soju Gang for control of First Light and the flow of the spice. Tropical House also exercising a right to rematch, but not for the region they lost, rather. They may have been reserving their strategies in order to acquire a more comfortable home here. The long nights of the winter convergence are the time of year when hyssop and spice production are at their lowest. As such, more defenders will be available to hold the fort. Meanwhile, the Marauders of to-be-determined Dodgers attack the Syndicate forces of Strawberry for control of the medicinal hot springs and resort destination of Ebonscale. Dodgers forces, taking advantage of the new rules of armed conflict, strike at a great house whose efforts may be divided, simultaneously fighting in the championship bout. Or will they? Is it possible that Strawberry has managed to fill their company roster and actually have the requisite number of members to fight in 2 wars at the same time? Meanwhile also, the Marauders of Highwind Dragoons assault the Covenant forces of Daddy Chill for control of the always uncontrollable Restless Shore. Highwind Dragoons making another move to dislodge a great house and take their first region on the island. But will they find success fighting in the mud? Daddy Chill making their first defense of the fort since conquering it earlier this week, but will they be able to field the proper roster for defense? In the title bout, the Marauders of Thrust Damage challenge the Syndicate forces of Strawberry for their championship title and the right to rule over Everfall. In the green corner, hailing from the peat moss bog of the Fen, seeking to expand their empire by giving their all against the champs, the recently crowned Great House, Thrust Damage. And in the purple corner, defending their belt for the second time this Neverfall run, your current, reigning, heavyweight champions of Eternum, Strawberry. We'll have any late-breaking outcomes and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.